Hey guys, Crystal and Shadow here, back with Steven Universe, and this time it's the big show.
So, we have an entire episode told through the perspective of Steven's camera.
Yeah, but at least the camera quality cleared up for the performance bit.
That was a good one. Man!
Might not be as good as Working Dead, but that was a good song.
So, we basically bookended it because we came back from the Space Trilogy with a Sadie episode, and the first episode before the Space Trilogy was a Sadie episode.
Not quite. Right after Sadie Killer was Kevin Party, because we needed to get Connie back before we could do Lars and the Stars.
Oh, that's true. The first good episode before the Space Trilogy was the Sadie episode.
Okay.
Whatever, Sadie's great, and man, I loved the Sadie Killer episode, and man, we got another one, which is basically another version of that.
Yeah, it also ties back into Sadie's song when... Yeah, she was going to play at Beachapalooza and her mum took over. We can see that her mum has gotten better at not intruding on Sadie's things.
The voice actress for that person at the end sounds familiar though.
Sunshine Justice?
Yeah, whatever their name is.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't speak much. I didn't recognize it.
I'll look it up later. Yeah, she sounds familiar. Also, the voice actress for Sadie's mother sounds familiar.
Yeah.
We never find out about Sadie's dad, do we?
No, there's no mention of it.
Alright then.
Probably dead or something.
Throughout this episode, I've been wondering one thing. What is the canonical age of Sadie?
I really don't know.
That's the one thing we've never...
She still lives with her mother, but she's of course older than Steven.
Yeah, I mean, she's old enough to work at the shop. Or she isn't anymore.
I mean, she hangs out with the cool kids, so she's probably close in age to them. And we know the cool kids, or at least Jenny, is at least 16 because she drives the car.
That's an interesting... Well, I like this episode too, because at first when you found out that Greg was going to help them, I thought, oh, this is not going to be good. Because when we've seen Greg, his shows suck despite the fact that he's good at singing. But there's a very key difference. Greg wasn't able to have the stage performance that he has now because he was able to boost all their performances with his money.
Yes, one, we had lots of money to use.
I like the fact that
Greg was not the performer, he was the manager in this situation. Whereas when Greg was the performer...
His manager was a dick.
Yes, exactly. He had a crappy manager.
True, but again... I like the fact that we don't make a big deal about it, but just throughout this whole show, ever since like season 2 or 3, Steven and his dad have just been rich.
Yeah, because Greg doesn't need that life. It's like when Steven said in the song, you could buy a house and a car. He says, I guess that I can, but I've already got a van.
Yeah.
He still lives in the van. And
man, season 5 is knocking it out of park so far. Again, except for Dewey, this has been a great season.
I mean... Greg is set for life. He could close down the car wash if he wanted to, but he still runs the car wash because people still need to get their cars washed in Beach City.
Exactly.
It's like in the episode when Kevin came to the car wash, Greg was like, "Wait, you forgot to pay." Who cares? I'm rich.
But still...
He probably washes people's cars for free.
I mean, season 5, we had a good 4-parter, we had a 3-parter in space, with all the so-called filler episodes have been great episodes.
Yeah.
Honestly, most of these episodes have been great, except for Gem Vacation and the Dewey episode.
Yeah.
Every episode so far has been good, and we're almost halfway through the season. What episodes is this, like 12?
14, I think.
14.
Yeah, 14.
I mean, okay, we're a little bit not quite half because the episode's like 30-something instead of the usual 20.
It feels like we're close to the end of the season because episode 18 was considered the end of the season for a while because we had a bit of a wait before we got more episodes. So I still consider episode 18 to be near the end of the season.
I'm going to guess A, 18 is more like a mid-season finale, and B... I read that they needed to shove more episodes into the season to fix up a plot point because they weren't sure if they were going to have more seasons, which...
Yeah, I'll explain in more detail once we have seen stuff, but...
So I'm going to assume that like from episode 19 onwards, the ball's really going to get rolling. We'll have to see, but... Oh boy... Even these filler episodes have been great.
Next episode is a filler, but I've been looking forward to it.
What's the next episode called?
It is called Pool hopping.
Oh, I don't know what character that could be referring to. Nobody has a pool.
I know, the name doesn't make much sense, even now that I've seen it.
I'm also trying to think of what characters we haven't seen in a while. Obviously, we haven't seen Onion, but I don't think he's going to get a super big episode. Or Onion's dad. If we haven't seen... I'm trying to think what characters haven't had an appearance. Obviously, you said it's a good episode, so we're not seeing Ronaldo next episode. we haven't seen Brick in a while. Yeah, we haven't seen him in ages. Who haven't we seen?
Well, there's an episode coming up that will have a tiny bit of everyone around, so you'll probably like that.
I'm going to give this another 8 episodes. Obviously, Sadie episodes have skyrocketed, although I've been saying that about a lot of characters.
I think I'll just go 7.5, but that's still good.
It's 8. It's a really good episode. Sadie singing is a great one. Again, like I said, if you get a professional singer as a main character and they sing, I'm glad they're finally doing stuff with it.
Yeah, and it really improves Sadie's relationship with her mum, because in the end, she realised she does want to include her mum a little bit. Like, she doesn't want her mum telling her what to do. She was just worried
it was going to be a repeat performance of that episode where she was a control freak.
Yeah, now that she's learned that her mum does know how to not get too involved, she does want her mum to come and watch the performances.
Anyway... Well, this was a really good episode, another really good performance, although I will admit I still prefer their first song the best.
Yeah, I still prefer the Working Dead.
But the Ghost and the Vampire song were both kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, the one we heard first in this episode seemed to be like their theme song, because they were introducing themselves as Sadie Killer and the Suspects.
I know this isn't about this episode. I have to go back to the Sadie Killer episode. I like how the first 2 major lines in the chorus of the first Sadie Killer song, the main one, I like how it's kind of like a slow, darker version of the main lines of... the first lines of the opening theme tune. You know, the opening theme tune, We Are the Crystal Gems, and, you know, their main chorus is like, We Are, whatever she says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's played at a different tempo, but it still kind of has that feeling, but then it goes on a different rail. Anyway...
We are the Working Dead, yeah, and we lurch for minimum wage, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has that...
Yeah, I get what part you mean now. I was thinking
that when we saw that episode, and I never brought it up, so yeah. But yeah, this was a great episode like the other one was. But man, anything could happen. I really don't know, and I've got a lot of good faith in this season. You've hyped it up. Everything except Dewey and the Gemcation episode have been great. So, oh boy, hopefully this season doesn't disappoint. I'm told, given just the general vibe I've heard, I don't think it will. I've been told there's people have mixed feelings on season 6 though.
Oh, yeah, like, I would not care if season 6 didn't exist. I've said it before, I'd be happy if they ended it either at the movie or even just at the end of season 5. Both of them were good stopping points, and I feel like 6 is just...
That reminds me of some other shows where they have a good stopping point because they think it could be the end. Then they get another season, and the season is kind of half and half.
You mean like that amazing ending episode that Code Lyoko got and then they made Evolution?
That's true. I was also thinking like Tortured Season 3 was a really good ending point. Then Miracle Day people have mixed feelings on, although I like it. Anyway, enough about other shows which we may or may not record one day. We will see you next time for more Sadie and other things as well.
See you next time, guys.